Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app, use promo code CHGO when you sign up. What's going on, Bears fans? Got a special show for you today. Adam Hoge, Mark Carman, Nicholas Moreano, all back in studio today as we continue to wrap up the NFL draft. And I think one of our favorite prospects is a 7th-rounder from Kennesaw State, Travis Bell.
I mean, I love Travis Bell, but I don't think I love him to the level that you love him after you broke down the tape, and I think you're now calling him, Superman, Super Bell?
Well, the guy we're bringing on the show right now probably understands that reference right away. The head coach at Kennesaw State, Brian Bohannon, joining us right now. Coach, thanks so much for jumping on today. Congratulations on the school getting their first ever NFL draft pick.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. What an awesome day for us and our university and for Travis Bell, man. Great day. And I tell you what, it's a great day for Chicago Bears. So we're awful excited for Travis. I don't think you'll get a better young man that's going to be more committed to doing things the way they need to be done for the Bears to be successful. So we're really excited.
So, Coach, that Superman reference I was just showing these guys some of the tape. I was watching it this morning, and He just loves to finish plays, doesn't he? I was watching one run stop, I should say, against Cincinnati. You guys did play the Bearcats this past season, and he's got some good film against an FBS level school there. And one play, he's getting double teamed, he's getting held back, and all of a sudden he just kind of pops through it and leaps through the air like Superman to help make the tackle. That's just who this guy is, isn't it?
You're absolutely correct. That's who he is, and that's how he plays the game. You know, here we take a lot of pride in our effort, attitude, and toughness. We call it EAT, and Travis is that. You watch him at the point of attack, he makes a lot of plays, but watch him chase the ball down the field. Watch him go make plays sideline to sideline. You know, for a guy that weighs 300-plus pounds, to watch him run around and make plays is fun to watch. And I think that's where you guys are referenced a little the Super Bell, just because of not what he does at the point of attack, but how passionate he is about the game. One thing you'll find out about Travis, when he flips a switch, when he goes between the white lines, you need to get out of the way now. The guy, he's on a mission. He's got a little bit of anger about the way he plays, which is what you want a defensive lineman to have.
Brian Bohannon, the head coach at Kennesaw State, with us here as we're talking about Bears draft pick Travis Bell, who Ryan Poles clearly fell in love with. It seems like on another level than he has with some players. Brian, you know him obviously probably as well as anyone in the football world. What drew you to, want him to help him along the way? And I hear that, there's a special connection with his mom, and also apparently he had a job as well where he was carrying a knife along with him when he's showing up to football practice. There's a lot of layers here.
Yeah, so Travis comes from very little. He's the story you hear about that doesn't have much at home. His mom was there, and they got a great relationship, but he does not have a lot. College graduate at any point in time in his family is probably not even a topic of conversation. And when he got here, he struggled. I'll be honest with you. He struggled just getting in line with being what's required for being a student athlete in college. And he and I had multiple conversations. And to his credit, he kind of fought his way through it and ended up being what we knew he would be as a player, because we really felt that way about him coming out as a player. But not only that, he became a leader on our football team that all the guys would go to and respected. And the thing about it is he's got as big a heart as you could imagine. Family's really important to him. If he trusts you, he'll do anything for you. He'll go to war for you. He'll fight for you. He'll do anything. And he's really a mild-mannered, big heart until you get him between the white lines and get him pissed off, and then he's a different person.
So just to follow up on that real quick, like I watched the video that you guys did on him, and he talks about just real basic stuff that he needed to learn as a college student: washing dishes, washing his clothes, and just structure, period. And so, like, I just think there's a stigma out there, like, he's not smart enough to go to college and this stuff, but it really doesn't take into consideration. The dude may have plenty of intelligence. He just hasn't had the right guidance, been in the right environment to do it. It sounds like this is a great example of somebody who, when you opened a door for him, he was able to walk on through, and with some trials and tribulations along the way.
Yeah, I think, adversities makes you who you are, and that's part of life, right? You gotta go through some of that stuff. You got to fall down and get back up and be better at it. And I think there's no question, he's a smart young man. He's intelligent. He just didn't know. He didn't understand the structure. He didn't understand how that worked. And this is what, for us, the game is about. So we open a door for a young man who otherwise would be on the streets, probably in jail one day. We give him an opportunity to come in and use his God-given talents to get a degree. And now he's got a chance to go play at the NFL. This is what, for us, this game's about. This is what football's about. This is what college football is about. So I don't think you could find a better story. And you guys talk about all the different layers. There's a lot of them just about him and who he is and how far he's come as a young man.
Brian, when he was drafted, kind of what was your reaction? Can you paint the picture? What were you kind of doing in the moment when this all unfolded?
So, we knew he had a chance late. We did, you never know in the draft what's going to happen. So I had really not watched a whole lot of the draft. I was waiting, and I actually sat down and started watching towards the back end of the draft. And I guess at my house we're streaming. So my chief of staff calls me, and he's in absolute panic. He's like, he just got drafted. He just got drafted. And it hadn't popped on my screen yet. And then it popped up as I'm talking to him. And he was excited. And then all of a sudden, social media for all our players, our staff, just everybody here was just, communicating via social media how far they were for Travis. Because I know y'all hear, it just couldn't happen to a better man. Like, he is an awesome young man who's come a long way. It's awesome for our university because it's a first. We've made a lot of history here when we started this program, but this is another huge step in that. And he's so humble about it too. He doesn't, he just handles it the right way. So yes, that's what happened in the moment. We were all, and then it was immediately, and I'm not a great social media guy, so I'm trying to come up with a decent tweet that doesn't sound bad, to put out there something, right? Because I'm not a big social media guy. So, but then all the stuff followed. So it was an awesome moment for sure.
So, Coach, hearing Bears general manager Ryan Poles talk about him, he seems to take even further than you have, and you've obviously been around this kid for a while now. He called him one of his favorite humans ever, and that when he came into the building to visit, neither one wanted to leave the room. How aware were you of the Bears' interest, and could you? Because I know that they call the coaches and they do digging. Like, how much were you aware that specifically the Bears loved him, and I guess even from a scheme standpoint, how Travis Bell fits what the Bears do defensively?
Yeah, we knew a little. We knew he'd been evaluated. We knew after his pro day and then some of the visits that his stock had gone up. He had a really good pro day. We knew how good he was, but, I think he needed to put that out there for others as well. So we knew a little bit about what the Bears, how they felt about him and some other, organizations going into this. But y'all know how this goes. You never know really how something's going to happen, in the moving parts of a draft, and you get towards the end. So, but to me, listening and to both sides, man, what a great fit. I listened to the press conference for the GM and the head coach and just talking about their culture and what the Bears are trying to establish and how they're trying to do it. Travis is a great fit. He's a heck of a player, but he's a great fit culturally. He's used to that kind of stuff, and he'll jump right in and be ready to go.
Specifically, Coach, what does he do well right now, and where do you think he has room for improvement, something he'll be working on?
He's, the thing is, Travis is not necessarily he's your 6 foot, 6'1". I don't know what he measures, but he is powerful. He is powerful. He is strong when he puts his hands on you. He's going to dent whoever's in front of him. It doesn't matter. the size. He's going to do that. He's athletic, and he plays with a passion. You talk to the guy, and you're like, man, he's the most humble, soft-spoken guy on the planet. But I'm going to tell you, when he gets out there and starts competing, especially when you get him a little needled and get him dialed up really good, you'll see a different side of him that to me is how you play defense. So I think I think there's some things he's going to do really well. He's going to have to learn how to be a pro like a lot of guys coming out of college. I think there's some things on that. I think there's always room to grow in the pass rush area and be consistent at what you do. But I think the things he's going to show are how hard he plays, how tough he is, and how passionate he is about the game. And I think that's a part of the reason the Bears drafted him, along with a lot of other stuff. But that's going to show up.
Brian, went specifically for your defense. What were his responsibilities? Was he a penetrator going upfield? What were his responsibilities in your defense?
Yeah, so he played inside for us, and there's times we set it up where he had to hold a gap. Whether he was playing 3 technique, because obviously if you can get 2 guys occupied on him, then it frees up some other guys. But we found ways to free him up because he was the best player we had on defense, and so we found ways to free him up. He was a hold a gap guy at times. We did a lot of movement early on with him. He was really good at that because he's really athletic. He can move. He's very sudden and quick. So we did a lot of different things with him. I've been through a few coordinators here, so we've changed up what we've done a little bit at times, but we try to do things for him to put him in a position to be successful, in whatever we're doing. But anytime you can get those guys where, several guys having to deal with them, I think that's positive for your defense.
Coach, going back to, I think you eat, right? Energy, attitude, toughness. That's what it stood for.
It's effort, attitude, and toughness. It's EAT. It's on the front of our helmet.
Got it. Effort as the E. So the Bears have hits. That's what they go by. Hustle, intensity, takeaways, being situationally smart. But I could see right away watching the film, and you touched on this earlier, just how Travis Bell sort of fits that, the way he's always hustling behind plays. So I maybe we can create a little Kennesaw State Bears pipeline here, because you guys seem to be on the same page. And I know this is your first draft pick, but you guys are still a relatively young program. I have a feeling this isn't going to be the last guy you send to the NFL.
It won't be, and we'd love to have a pipeline with the Bears. Absolutely, and I do. And like I said, I listened to the whole press conference, and I said, there's no doubt there's a match here, regardless of ability, but just the way Travis is going to walk into that program right now, that organization, he's going to have a lot of things that the Bears are establishing and been establishing there. And I think we'd love to have, we're going to have more. We're getting ready to move to Conference USA, and we're excited about that. We're going to continue to recruit great players in Georgia and Alabama that I know that'll be great fits for the Chicago Bears, especially guys that can come with a lot of effort, attitude, and toughness.
Coach, Deion Sanders was super vocal about, there was disappointed there was only one player drafted from HBCU school. I'm sure you see guys who don't get an opportunity that in your mind probably deserved one. What do you think NFL scouts perhaps miss on some of the guys that you see every day?
Well, I think, here, the scouts, for the most part, we've had every senior at least evaled that comes through here. And so, I've told the guys when they come here, I'm like, listen, everybody wants to go to the NFL, and I want you to go too. I said, but your resume is going to be out there on the grass on how you play and how you perform. I said, that's your resume. I said, when the scouts come through, they're going to want to see what you're about and how good a player you are. And so we've been able to do it here. We've had multiple guys that played at the next level in different capacities. Obviously, this is the first draft pick, but we have had guys play at the next level. So I think here, we've given guys opportunities. If they can go show what they can do, then they're going to have that shot at the next level. And then it's really going to be up to them how that goes. So for us, it's been okay. We haven't had any problems with it.
Brian, when you reflect back to Travis's collegiate career, what game stands out to you? Where do Bears fans need to go watch and see where, hey, this is what Travis is all about?
Oh, geez. He played a lot of football because he had a COVID year. This last year, and this is just another compliment to him, he didn't have to come back to our place. Travis could have caught a lot of places and played. He wanted to come back here. Just another testament to the kind of kid you guys are getting there in Chicago. But I'm trying to think back of all the games. I know everybody watched the Cincinnati game this year just because of the nature of the opponent. That's probably the most recent that you could see. But, gosh, he's made so many plays for us over the years. I mean, the guy's been here for 6 years, and 5 of those played, if he was healthy, every snap possible we could keep him on the field.
So, Coach, you guys are moving to Conference USA this coming season?
We're going to be transitioning this season, then officially going in 24.
Got it. Yeah. So if football fans aren't aware of Kennesaw State, you should become aware because I want to say 2015 was your first season. You've been there since the start, and right away you guys had some success winning your conference, and obviously have climbed the ranks from not existing to going up to the FBS level. I think that's a testament to what you've built there, Coach. So excited to see more of the talent coming out of there and more of your games too, because hopefully that brings some more exposure.
Absolutely. So we're the winningest startup football program in college football history.
Wow.
Which is a pretty big honor for our kids and our staff in this place here. And we're excited about the move to Conference USA. And obviously, as you mentioned, more exposure for our program and our kids, and definitely more draft picks and definitely hopefully a pipeline with the Chicago Bears.
Top 5 things to do in Kennesaw, Georgia when we come on down to visit you, Coach?
You're 25 minutes outside of Atlanta. Brave Stadium is 15 minutes from our place. You can do whatever you want here. That's the beauty of it.
I like it. I like it, Coach.
Hey, but before you go, what was his job that he was showing up at school with the knife in his pocket? What was he doing?
I got to go ask him, because you know what he was doing? He's sending all his money home. This is the kind of kid you got, right? So all the money he's getting, his financial aid, because he's a qualifier, he's sending all of it home. So that's why he's working. He's on full scholarship here, but I'm sure he was sending all his money home because there was probably some issues there that he was taking care of. He told me the job. I can't remember exactly what it was. He might have been working at Walmart. A lot of our guys were working at Walmart at one time.
I think it was a medical supply company.
Yeah, that sounds right. Could have been.
Yeah. So, real quick, and we will let you go here, Coach. But so, how did that work? Like, I mean, you don't hear many kids dealing with a full-time job and playing football at the same time. You still got to be enrolled in school. Like,
it's a lot.
I'm sure that you guys had to accommodate for some of that too, just as a football program, to make it all work.
We did some, and he was on the back end of his time. So he had just about finished school up when he was really diving into the full-time job all the time. Early on, he was not in the full-time job. That was sort of on the back end. But he would come in dressed. You could tell he'd been at work, for meetings and such at times. But we did. But thing about Travis is he wasn't gonna miss anything that he was supposed to be at. He understood, that the commitment to the program and his teammates, and that was really important because he wanted his teammates to look up to him as a leader. And if he's missing stuff, he knew that wouldn't be the case. So that's just another testament to him.
Last one from me, Coach. He's got an uphill battle here to make the team, make the practice squad, whatever. And he's not a first-round draft pick, but he's going to be getting some money here. Like, what do you guys do to try to, prep somebody to stepping into this world where checks are coming in? You might think, coming from where he's coming from, that he's a millionaire, and it's obviously it's good money, but it's not going to last a lifetime at the same time.
Yeah, well, we give as much guidance as we can. Coach Klein, his D-line coach, does a great job with that group. They'll have some conversations, and then hopefully the people that are helping him along the way will help him as well. But we've had conversations along the way about that, and I think sometimes these guys learn a little better because they learn a little more value of the dollar simply because of what they've had to do to get to where they are versus maybe some others. I don't know if that makes sense, but so I think he values it a little bit more. And obviously we're going to do everything we can to help him make sure he's doing the right things financially for his future, for sure.
Coach Bohannon, we really appreciate the time. We'll keep an eye on the program going forward. You got some new fans, viewers, and listeners of this show. So thanks again for your time today, and good luck in the future.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Brian.
All
appreciate
right.
it.
There he is, Brian Bohannon, the head coach at Kennesaw State. The Owls, a heck of a seriously. That's why I want to get into some of the program. They went above 500 their first season of existing.
That's
not
so
easy
impressive.
to do.
Yeah.
I don't care what level of football you're playing or what.
$75 season tickets might I can't leave you guys here, but I do,
Trip to Georgia?
Atlanta, good. I like the Heat.
Bears bye week, go down to an Owls game next year.
Why not hang in the South for, a period of your life? Get some football going on. Eat some good food.
Sounds
hang
good to
out.
me.
Well, he was awesome. So we really appreciate his time, and I'm telling you guys, I
like
mean,
Trae Young. Go ahead.
We'll find a way to get some clips out to you, but this dude, his tape is just I don't know how it's going to translate to the NFL. Like I'm not projecting. I'm not sitting here saying like this is the Bears' future 3 technique. All I'm saying is the energy that this kid has. It's insane. Like he'll be on the backside of play, running back all the way over here. He already got past him, and he'll find a way to chase him down from the back end. Now, are you chasing down Bijan Robinson at the next level? Probably not. So there's some of that, but the point is the effort.
It's there.
And that coach was talking about right there, that attitude, that toughness. He's bull rushing guards straight in the backfield. And the reason we bring up the Cincinnati game is because, that's upper level. Okay, that's not playing FCS level. And at the same time, Cincinnati's been sending a lot of dudes to the NFL. I don't know if you've noticed this lately, including one
Tyler
to the Bears in the 4th round. So it's just a fun tape. And he's a fun player. And the more just doing research on it in the last couple of days, at first you hear Ryan Poles talk about this guy, you're like, okay. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Your favorite human being ever. But really, I understand it, and you heard Coach Bohannon there kind of back all that up.
A kid like that getting an opportunity, leveling the playing field, it's really heartwarming. Like, that's how these things should work. So I will be significantly rooting for Travis to make the team / have success in his life. Super chat from Chris Peguero, $4.99. Appreciate you, brother. Thought y'all would mention QB1 is from Kennesaw. That is a loaf on our part. There's no doubt about it. I'm gonna have to point the thumb on that because I could have done that. Yeah,
but it's not like he knows Travis Bell. I don't.
Yeah, but we should have fielded it. He's right. Peguero is spot on.
Thanks, Peguero.
Good details there.
By the
way,
good
job to you, Mark.
QB1 wanted to be drafted by the Falcons. But now he's a happy Chicago Bear.
How come Justin Fields didn't go to Kennesaw State?
Yeah, he just grew up in this town, so I don't.
Yeah, but, should have gone there instead of Georgia.
I mean,
When it didn't go well at Georgia, he should transfer back to Kennesaw.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been cooler if he went to Kennesaw before he went to Ohio State, that's for sure.
Yeah, come on. Obviously, I'm just kidding.
Fields lacking heart. Sitting right there at Kennesaw could just filled up the stadium and made it huge.
Yeah.
I'm out on Fields. Terrible job.
There it is.
Someone's going to clip that.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
You hear what Mark Carman said?
Out on Fields.
Oh, jeez.
Is he going to be at rookie minicamp just to show up and meet the rookies?
He'll be around the building, I'm sure.
We'll find him.
I mean, from what I hear about Fields, he doesn't. I think he lives there.
I think that he misses me and wants to see me. By the way, Braggs did have a great comment in the chat saying that he loves Kennesaw State until they beat Purdue in the first round of the tournament next year. That's a good line by Gregory.
Wow. I think that's growth right there.
Good point. All right, hey, our friends at FOCO, you want to get fitted out in the best sports gear around. That's why you go to FOCO. They have hoodies, shoes, signs, bobbleheads, everything in between. It is spring. It is baseball season. They got you set up with Aloha shirts, straw hats, polos, bags, everything you need for a nice game out in the sun, enjoying that summer baseball weather. And right here are some of our set decorations, both in front of us, behind us. It's from FOCO. FOCO's donated a few awesome pieces for our sets, so please go show them some love. Check out FOCO.com or click the link in the description below. For all non-presale items, use the promo code CHGO for 10% off.
You got to check out FOCO, but you also got to check out Athletic Greens. With one scoop of your AG1s, you're absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help start your day off right. This mixture of ingredients helps your immune system, gives you energy, and improves your focus, and that's why I take my AG1s, and you should too. Also, it helps support better sleep quality and recovery, which we all definitely need. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. It's super simple. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. And to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bears. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/CHGO Bears to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance.
All right.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
We got a DraftKings pick of the week. That has to be done.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, I was looking at the
Kaner?
Heat.
Kaner.
Kaner?
Kaner?
What about Kaner?
Patrick Kane.
Season
who's
over?
Kane?
Yeah.
Not playing.
What are you going
What
to
does that
bet
do
on
with
the
pick of the
season to
week?
be over? It already is over.
How about we bet on where he lands as a free agent coming back to the Blackhawks?
Not sure that's
I don't know
probably
if
going to
you
be
can bet on that.
DraftKings,
Doesn't sound
yeah.
like that's happening.
I was going to bet on like Jimmy Butler, but with the injury,
Is Butler out for sure
I don't
tonight?
know. I
What?
don't think anything's been. You can't bet on him right now on DraftKings, so I think it's a little
I
undecided.
didn't know he was hurt.
I actually won a bet last night. It was very exciting.
Congrats.
Yeah.
What'd you bet?
Nuggets?
I missed my Nuggets bet, although it was a no sweat bet, so I'll get a $5 bonus bet. Thank you, DraftKings. But I did hit on the Padres, who were playing the Reds last night. I took money line, or no, what did I take?
You bet Padres Reds?
I did, because I had a bonus bet.
I was so offended.
Dude.
I took them minus 3.5 runs. I said, you know what? They're going to beat the heck out of the Reds. The Reds pitcher, Luke Weaver, not good. I was listening to CHGO Bets yesterday with Sean and Cody.
Okay. You got it from
See,
Sean and
that's
Cody.
where you
I had insight.
got to do your work. You listen to the Bet Show, and those guys come through.
That's weird.
I'll tell you this.
It's not that weird. I like
The
gambling.
Heat are 6-point dogs tonight,
Yep. Tibbs?
you know, and Jimmy's banged up. Don't know his status, I guess, as of right now, unless something's happened in the last hour or so. But the way the Heat's playing, I'll take +6.
Mm-hmm.
At least
I'll take
cover that.
Yep.
You can make that bet with DraftKings, but we can have a side bet too.
Well, I'm just saying, that is our play of the day or the week or
Okay. Never.
year or whatever we do.
But I'll get on board. The Heat are going to kill the Knicks tonight. Let's go.
I like it.
Everything that's happening in the NBA playoffs is complete death, but we don't need to talk about that right now.
You know, I have been a bad NBA watcher. I've literally completely missed, like, not seen a second or known it was happening. Both the Jimmy 50-piece and the Steph 50-piece.
It's been phenomenal.
Have not seen a, like,
Jimmy's
it was like,
been
Sounds
awesome.
fun.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we've had a lot of stuff going on.
You know, the
but
draft, and we've been busy.
it was really
Chris
depressing.
Paul got hurt last night. That means that the Suns can't beat the Lakers. You've got the Bucks ever eliminated.
Suns can't beat the Lakers. They're playing the
I'm
Nuggets.
trying to figure out who can beat LA from that series and who I should be rooting for because we don't need any more LeBron noise around. And I came up to the conclusion in the middle of the game last night that I want the Suns to win, but I need Chris Paul to stay healthy. And literally 5 seconds later, he blew out his groin. It's probably done.
All right. Save it for the bull show.
Move along. Great. Well, actually, just one tangent from that, because over the weekend they're chanting "Sell the team"
Yeah.
at Guaranteed Rate Field, and at different points in time, different owners have been the least popular. And I was thinking about it as how it relates to the Bears. Like, I think the McCaskies are actually above Reinsdorf right now.
That is a strange thing to say.
Isn't that a strange thing?
It's not even close.
It's not even close.
No.
He's got,
Yeah.
and granted, he inherited Mike and all that.
I would argue it's been like that for a long time, though.
I don't know. It's been pretty.
I don't know,
I mean,
man.
at least last
People were pretty
decade.
the same. I haven't heard a lot of nice things said. I mean, people like George, but as far as the leadership goes, through Nagy and Pace, I didn't sense a whole lot of love there. But I think there's a different feeling now with Poles, and it's sort of like the Bears ownership is a little bit stabilized here. Whereas the way the White Sox season has started out, that thing is just going right to the toilet from a fan standpoint. And the Bulls,
Look.
And then he speaks yesterday and says what he said.
Yeah,
that was not.
I drafted like 6 or 7 different tweets and then just decided, you know what, this is causing me too much anxiety. I can't handle it. But that one quote where he's like, all fans really just want to be in the mix with a couple weeks left in the season.
He's got proof in the pudding in that one.
Okay, one, that just proof you have no idea what your fans want. You have no clue what your fans want. And two, you're awful at doing that.
Oh, yeah.
They're not even close to being in the mix.
Hey, they're in their championship window, year 3 of it, I believe.
You were in 2020 and 20, which by the way, 2020, I feel like people completely forget. They finished 1-8, I think it was, or 1-9, and completely collapsed and blew the division title. Is that what you want in the last week? That's what fans want.
That's a stress ball.
That's what fans want.
That's a stress ball for Adam.
Your fans. This is a nice little stress ball. This is my friend Jerry here.
Wait, that's Crammy?
That's Crammy.
He makes you feel better.
You know what I want as a White Sox fan? I want to be right in the mix the last 2 weeks of the season and then below it, like 2012 and 2020. That's what I want as a White Sox fan. You're right.
Squeeze Crammy. Get it out. Get it out.
2005, they were also a little.
They tried to blow in 05, but at least they made it in. So, listen, one season was, I guess, worth it all.
Terrible.
It's when you compare them to other organizations, it's tricky because 1985 is a long time ago, and the Blackhawks, of recent note, haven't been great. But there's 3 cups within 15 years, 14 years, whatever. Do the math. Thank you very much. And I don't know. And then there's Jerry with his 7, but yet people are just fed up. They have.
1998 is a very long time ago.
It was, and believe me, at the time I said it when Jerry Krause was getting up there. Any red-blooded general manager who wants to prove that he can, dude, I will bet literally everything I have in my pocket that you guys are never getting back there. I have seen who you draft. I saw you in the entire Jordan career. You know how many perennial All-Stars you found him? 1. 1 damn All-Star. That's it.
It ain't happening.
That ain't going to work going forward. I don't like your chances.
And then they drafted Eddie Curry.
Oof.
And they actually, Eddie Curry was bad, but they actually were on the right path with Tyson. But then they, they had to trade out of that because it just, we don't need to go down that road. But at any rate, I just feel like, hey, George and company, they're kind of, for all intents and purposes, riding high here as far as the fan angst is concerned around Chicago right now. Bears are doing all right.
And let's talk about the interior design aspect of the Chicago Bears.
Interior design?
The interior defensive line.
Oh, the interior D-line. Yes, we can get to that now.
Yes,
all right, great.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I think we also – how do you – okay. Now that you've learned a little bit about Travis Bell, how do you feel about these 3 defensive tackles that the Bears have added?
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah. Look, I really want to ask people on the Florida defensive staff what Gervon Dexter's responsibility, like exactly what he was being coached to do. Because I was watching his game against Utah, Adam, and I don't know if you delve into that tape.
I haven't gotten to Utah yet, no.
It's not good. He is laid off the snap. He also lines up about a helmet behind every other defensive lineman. And it's just there wasn't much of an impact. And then I go and watch South Carolina's game against Kentucky, and Zacch Pickens is getting in the backfield and doing some good things. So right now for me, Gervon Dexter, I'm low on Gervon Dexter. And I need to watch a lot more. And I would love to talk to some of these Florida coaches to know exactly what his responsibilities were, why he was playing the way he was, to kind of get a better understanding. But as a whole, like I'm higher on Zacch Pickens than I am on Gervon Dexter. And then obviously Travis Bell's all higher up on there.
And before you cover what you and Woot went over, and I'd like to hear some deep Hoge analysis here, I do just like to throw the question out there. Florida has a pretty good school. They know what they're doing over there. So the concept that the Bears are going to unearth something in Dexter that they couldn't figure out at SEC Florida, I think is at least worth questioning.
But they've had some issues with the coaching. I mean, they've been through some coaches over there recently. I don't want to put it on the coaches necessarily. I don't know. Kind of like how Nick brought up, and Woot and I talked about this a little bit too. The impressive thing about Gervon Dexter is, like, Woot and I went through the film, and we were able to circle multiple times, like many times, where the ball is already in Will Levis's hand in a shotgun snap, and Dexter still hasn't taken his hand off the ground. Like, that's how slow the get-off is. Now, there's no way his get-off is actually that slow.
No.
Like, that's I don't know if it's being tired or just.
That was one of the
part
things
of it is, part of it definitely is, and this came up. People are asking about it, and it's probably going to drop here in the comments immediately. What his responsibilities were. Oh, it's read and react. And Woot and I both said this. Yes, it is. But your hand still shouldn't be on the ground by the time the quarterback has the ball. Like, you still got to be up and doing something. So it's – and then the other side of that is we went through the whole tape against Kentucky. He still made a lot of damn plays. Like, despite the slow get-off, he's still in the backfield. He still made – so – the athleticism is 100% there. The strength is 100% there.
That showed up.
He's able to – he gets in positions where he's almost out of position, double-teamed, and he's able to throw an interior lineman, a guard or a center to the side and make the play. So from a projection standpoint, if you believe that he has the explosiveness, you looked at the tape – or I'm sorry, the tape, and you said, okay, yeah, it needs to be better. But his numbers, his broad jump, his vertical, all the athleticism numbers that came in, they do show he's very athletic.
There, yeah.
Get him in the Bears coaching, right, in this hits principle. Teach him how to play more like Travis Bell. Because if this dude plays like Travis Bell, what's on Travis Bell's tape, just that style and that relentlessness, he's going to be an insane player. He's going to be really, really good. He really is. It's just it's always hard to fall in love with a guy when it's not quite all there on film. But all the other things are. The athleticism's there. The strength's there. There's plenty of great plays in the backfield. You're just watching it and you're going, why is he so damn slow off the ball?
And maybe the Bears have a very clear reason for that in their head that they're going to work on. This is how we're going to do it, and that's why we're going to make him a pick right here because we believe in his upside. And clearly they do. That they and it is on the table if they are able to get Dexter right and say Pickens right. And I mean, Ryan Poles, if that actually happens and all of a sudden they're getting an impact on that interior D-line, number one, it sets them up enormously well to do the last part of this rebuild and really become an actual threat. Secondly, he will start stamping himself as GM1. Like if he really can see we passed on Jalen Carter. We didn't like his off the field stuff. Let's put it like that. And we realized that these guys were going to be there, and we thought that they could step in. If he's having comments like that down the line, man, that would be unbelievable for Ryan Poles. What's Fishbane saying?
We have a suggestion here. We always like suggestions. Kevin not even charging us for this one. Free idea. Have Wooten in studio demonstrating line moves going up against Carm.
I'll volunteer as tribute too.
Anything for the team. I mean, Fish knows that. And Fishbane's having a great day today with Chris Collins getting a big contract extension Northwestern. Congratulations to Kevin. I'm sure he's just...
I don't think Kevin's getting any of that money.
No, but I think he went from 2 to 4 season tickets. Cats next year.
Yeah, well, now he's got to pay more in season tickets to pay for the coach.
He's fired up for it. He's super excited. He can't wait to go and see whoever's on Northwestern next season as they're all leaving. I don't know why.
I think Kevin's a walk-on next year.
Maybe he is. Maybe he is. Give the ball to Barnheiser. All right. Look, so you like him. Nick is still skeptical.
I need to watch more.
On Dexter?
Yeah.
I need to watch more for sure, but
I'm cautiously optimistic. I'd say there were definitely. There's other guys I liked more, but it'll be fascinating to watch in training camp. I'll say that.
We'll get.
I mean, of all the picks, if I had to rank the picks, of ones I just like, right? Like, okay,
Darnell
obviously
Wright.
Darnell Wright's up there. Travis Scott's up there. I don't know why you're looking at me like that. It's
Travis
really weird.
Scott. Tyler
Tyler Scott. I'm sorry. There's
Travis
Travis
Scott.
Bell.
You
There's
listen to
Tyler
Travis
Scott.
Scott?
They were playing
Yeah, I
against
know,
each
right?
other.
Ah.
What?
Do you know who Travis Scott is? Like, the name sounds familiar, doesn't
Yeah.
it? The rapper.
Yeah.
The rapper. Okay.
Astro World.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't
He had
think
a
that's where
shoe
Hoge
actually
was
dropped
going.
not too long ago.
He just Travis Bell, Tyler Scott.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to do.
Yeah.
Regardless, some combination of those two I like.
Okay. All right.
Okay, those two players. One's a very small wide receiver, and one's a undersized but big dude still.
My
makes sense.
after show activities is going to go deeper than anyone's ever gone on Dexter. That's my plan.
Okay.
I'm going
Scary.
into the personal. I'm going into the private. I'm going into the corners. I'm coming out of it with 17 tweets coming out here. So that's because
17.
I want to 17's the number. I want to believe in the Dexter and the polls and in a position where the Bears absolutely need to have somebody make a major impact this year. But be it him, Pickens, a rotation of people, someone's got to do something, or else they're
I do like that they got three guys coming in who.
Versatility, too. They have some versatility.
Well, you'll be. Here's the one thing I'll say about Bell too. You're gonna find out right away if this guy can stick. It's gonna. I think it's gonna be. This is one of those guys where like you see the energy, you see the relentlessness, you see the way he plays. But how does he get washed? Does he get washed out by these bigger NFL offensive linemen? It's a big transition, and I think we're gonna be able to see that in camp right away, especially because he's a little undersized, and it might work. It might work. I love the way the dude plays. So that's gonna be interesting.
It'll be fun to watch this weekend.
So you're higher on Bell than Gervon.
No.
Say it.
He's a seventh rounder.
No, I think that would be silly. I'm just trying to
too.
put them both in perspective. Like Dexter certainly he's 6'6" compared to Bell at 6 foot, right? Like I'm not, but what I am saying is if you took Bell's the way he's like just a jitterbug flying all over the field and put that into Dexter's tape, you're probably talking about
super defensive.
a top 3 pick in the entire draft. Right? Like you're talking about like a Jalen Carter type level.
Unfortunately, that thing is. I've always wanted to do that. If we took that over there and put
right.
that into there, then you'd have one hell of a player. It doesn't quite work that way.
By the way, there's one play where Dexter, I don't know if it's a sack or not, depending on where he actually got tackled near the line of scrimmage, but Levis had to like run up the middle. There's an edge rusher on the left side who just shoves the right tackle straight back with one arm, and he's a lot smaller than this right tackle. It's an incredible play. This guy's name is Brenton Cox Jr., who he popped up on this film. I'm watching at Dexter multiple times, and I'm going, who is this guy, and why was he not drafted? And I look up his profile in the Beast. Not only was he kicked out of Florida shortly after that game, he was also kicked out of Georgia when he was a freshman there. So dismissed from 2 SEC programs.
Oof.
Who signed this guy yesterday? The Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
What's his name again, Adam?
Brenton Cox Jr.
I wonder. I wrote down in my notes, too. I want to see what number he was. Number 1. Yeah. This guy jumped on film for me, too.
His
I'm
tape
like,
is insane.
Everybody's late. The whole interior defensive line was late off the snap.
Yeah.
And then number 1 is flying upfield. I'm like, who the?
Yeah.
What do I have here? Everybody's late. Actually, number 1 edge could get off. Like, okay.
Yeah. No, but the problem is even in Brugler's profile, it's like he's quoting scouts that are like, this guy's untouchable. Nobody's going to want to deal with him. So he goes undrafted. He signed though with the Packers as an undrafted free agent. So very little risk there. If he works out, if he changes, I don't know what the issues are. I'm not going to pretend to know. All I know is he got dismissed from 2 SEC schools. If he sticks there, I'm telling you, that might be a name you want to keep an eye on because I think he's actually really good at football. He just.
Yeah, his get off was more about getting off the team twice.
Well done. Well done.
Sounds like the guy that I ran into at the gym yesterday who ruined my entire experience, but Why don't you continue on, because we have a very important last topic that we need to touch.
Let's do this. All right, NBA playoffs time. That means big hoops action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Get in on the excitement of every game with the touch of a button. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Plus, everyone can score a no-sweat same-game parlay every day during the NBA playoffs. Open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, and place a same-game parlay on any NBA game. And if it doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $10. Download the app now. Sign up with code CHGO. New customers can make a $5 pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in bonus bets if their team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code CHGO. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelpline.ma.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. That's 467-369. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700 on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort. 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources.
Take on the Sun, Life, Bears,
The
and
Phoenix
more.
Suns. You could take on the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah. You want gear built to last. You want to be hanging out with our friends at Shady Rays, who have you covered for the warm weather ahead with the premium polarized shades at an affordable price. Shady Rays, an independent sunglasses company. I love underlining that. You are buying from good people there. They offer a world-class product, just as good as any expensive pair that you've ever worn. Durable frames, extremely clear optics. They got it all going on for you. And, of course, they've got their insane protection plan. Every pair of sunglasses backed by the lost and broken replacements. You lose the pair, even on day one, they'll send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase. And if you don't love your Shady Rays, exchange it for a new pair. You can return them for free within 30 days. No risk when you shop. Exclusively for you, the CHGO listener, we love you. We want to give back to you. So does Shady Rays. Their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com. Use the code CHGO. You get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. All right.
So
you want to talk about this Fields thing?
Yeah.
So one of our great social media people here put out a tweet last night and said, with everything that Ryan Poles has done.
Are you talking about yourself?
Yes. I am. We all contribute around. So I put out a tweet last night from our Bears account saying, with everything that Poles has done, does Justin Fields have enough to be successful? And it's got 100+ replies, and literally everyone is a yes, that there is enough on the offensive line. There is enough wide receiving talent. There's an extra tight end. We've got a running back that's been drafted. Forget about David Montgomery being out the door. No problem. Khalil Herbert, Roshan Johnson. Let's go. Dial it up, Darnell Wright. Live the dream. New guard, right guard. Tevin moving over to left guard, no problem. Cody Whiter's going to step right in. Braxton Jones, year 2, left tackle. That apparently is good too. Love you, Braxton. And, Tyler Scott, DJ Moore, we're good.
Yeah.
So it's all on Fields right now. Are we all on board about this? That hey, man, if this thing doesn't come together, it is officially on QB1.
Well, I think to a certain extent, yes. I think that, I don't think we're talking about one of the greatest offensive rosters of all time. But I do think that Ryan Poles has gotten this thing to a spot where if the quarterback is the dude, the thing's going to take off, right? So, it's not like the Chiefs are running out there with Hall of Famers all over the place. Okay, they have the dude at quarterback who elevates everyone else around him. How many years do we see that in Green Bay too? I mean, good, solid players, but the quarterback is elevating everybody, right? So I think Ryan Poles has at least gotten the offensive line to a more than functionable situation where he's found a way to balance youth with some of these veterans. It's not like Nate Davis is that old. Now you got a second-year left tackle. You're going to have a rookie right tackle. But it does feel like it's upgraded overall. It feels like you have a little bit more depth up the middle at center, too. That was a problem last year. Now you have two players that have done it for a long time, have plenty of experience in Cody Whitehair and Lucas Patrick. So there's enough there before we even start talking about the weapons. And from a running game standpoint, which is what the Bears were really good at last year, part of that was Justin Fields, but a lot of it was also just their scheme and the running backs. I think especially now that they've drafted Roschon Johnson, they've signed Dante Foreman, there's no reason they can't at least be as good with their running backs and their running game, their non-Justin Fields running game, let's put it that way, to keep that up. So now the question is, with better production, with the same running game, with better protection up front, does he have the weapons to take all the excuses out of this now, right? To say you have to figure out a way to elevate your game, to process faster, to get the ball into your playmakers' hands. And barring a couple catastrophic injuries with some of these wide receivers, which is always something you have to plan for, in my opinion, yeah, the answer is yes. He has those pieces. He has DJ Moore. He has Darnell Mooney. I think Chase Claypool being in a much more comfortable situation where he doesn't need to, pretend to be the number one wide receiver, could elevate his game, especially in the red zone with potential touchdown targets. And then understanding that there's still a couple young, exciting players there. One of them being not Travis Scott, but Tyler Scott. Get that right. And Velus Jones Jr., what does this mean for him? But I liked how he ended last season, and you can still find a way to get him the football in some spots. So that's a really long way of saying, yes, I agree with most of those people that responded to that outstanding tweet that was put out by whoever put that out last night.
Great job.
I think a simpler, faster way of saying this is Justin Fields is going to be the reason that either this offense takes off or it doesn't.
It's a good way of putting it, Adam. And we talked about it on After Dark, Mark. But also another important thing, Luke Getsy, second year with him. Just the continuity, the familiarity with the offense. Like, there are no more excuses. I think Bears fans are okay with saying that. Like, if this offense doesn't take off, it's all going to come back to the quarterback because you have the weapons. You have a more stable offensive line. The thing is, too, I can foresee some maybe offensive struggles early on. They're still getting the chemistry down. You do have new wide receivers, new offensive line in new spots. So you do have some new pieces around. But that doesn't mean like halfway through the season, maybe even a little bit before that, they should have a good feel for each other. So it might be a tough in the beginning, but no more excuses for Justin Fields' offense. If it's going to take off, this is a season where it happens, where you see some good things, some points being scored by the Bears and not like in a 4-week span or however long it was where the Bears were actually humming.
Well, we got the greatest Bears quarterback of all time in the chat today, Sid Luckman, saying we lost 7 one-score games last year with that roster. How many of those do we win this year? So, I mean, if Sid is stamping it, then as we go back to the 40s to find the best Bears quarterback of all time, which is still amazing to me, hey, that means a lot right there. I actually feel a drop of anxiety for Fields that, like, And I don't think Bears fans are going to jump on him if the Bears start slow and the offense doesn't instantly take off. But we're seeing it. The opinion right now is like, hey, man, there's enough. If you're the real deal, year 3, not saying you need to be Jalen Hurts and be an MVP candidate, but we should be seeing a massive, massive jump here in year 3.
Yeah, so enough that going out of the year that you're going to pick up his 5th-year option at a minimum. For sure. Right? You don't want that. If you're in that same conversation that we were in with Mitch Trubisky a few years ago, which is, we're at the combine, you're picking this up, you're not picking this up, what's going to happen here? And we kind of all got the sense, I don't think they're picking it up.
And they didn't.
And that turned out to be the right move. You just got it. I think some people are misunderstanding the conversation. We're not saying the Bears are going to take off here as a team and, win 12 games. All we're talking about is Justin Fields.
Score points.
Right? Does Justin Fields have enough to work with now that you can get that evaluation that you desperately need? I think the answer is yes. Because if he is what everyone thinks he can be, including all of us here, I believe he has enough to then go out and do that this year and show them that. And that's what I think is going to happen. And if it doesn't, well, then that's your evaluation, right? You just can't have the same conversation as last year where it was like, okay, he kind of did it. They had that 1 month. The running game was great, but where is he as a passer? Oh, he has to get better. Where everyone in the organization is admitting that right now, right? You want to be past that by this time next year.
For sure.
It's also, let's underline this is a hell of a compliment to Ryan Poles. They were a long way away from this being the case. And
Carm loves Ryan Poles.
I'm a Poles guy.
King Poles.
I'm a Fields guy. Torian, you just heard my feelings. I'm not rooting against Justin Fields. I'm not going to be happy if he fails. I want to replace him anyway, even if he shows out. I'm not trying to replace QB1. I love QB1. I think Fields is outside of his talent on the field, I just think he's a very likable guy off the field. So, but I do think it's an impressive accomplishment for Poles in an offense that was pretty devoid of a lot, couldn't protect, didn't have weapons, that Bears fans are feeling pretty comfortable with it. I still think they need to do more, and I believe they have, that they're right about Darnell Wright. I believe that Braxton Jones is going to make the leap that he needs to make next year. I think Cody Whitehair can step in and be the center, and if not him, then it'll be Lucas Patrick, I guess. Nate Davis is good. I don't know. I guess he is. They paid him a lot of money. Tevin's going to stay healthy. The offensive line to me is not exactly, we don't have Pro Bowler after Pro Bowler year after year that we're leaning on here, but people are believing in it. Okay. DJ Moore, I like him too. Never made a Pro Bowl. Chase Claypool, one good season in the NFL. Darnell Mooney, same thing. Roshan Johnson, I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Khalil Herbert, decent back. But okay. Robert Tonyan, Packers let him go. He's I don't know.
They had to draft 2 tight ends to replace him. That's how good he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one way of looking
They
at it.
drafted 2 tight ends in the first
Cole Kmet,
3 rounds, right? What was that?
Cole Kmet, tight end 1.
He's tight.
I just, I think there's a lot of optimism out there that might be a little bit over the top when you kind of sit back and really look at it, but maybe it'll all come together, as Poles also did say.
Settle down. It's May.
See, I love the whole settle down thing. Just like we're doing a show. I can't just settle. I can't settle down to September, whatever the hell, when it starts again.
Don't have any takes until August.
I'm just kind of. I was expecting a little bit more of a balanced, on some level, not necessarily, but everyone's like, yes, the pieces are in place. Okay, okie dokie, got it.
I think someone just compared you to Tucker Carlson.
It's not great.
That's there's one thing to call me Crampa. There's nothing to call me Cram. When you compare me to that guy, now we got a problem. Lowest of the low.
Do we have any super chats?
Squeeze him.
No. We got rid of that Piguero thing early, and
okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure before I say goodbye. Appreciate everybody watching. If you came in late and missed Kennesaw State's head coach,
He was awesome.
Yeah, what's his name, by the way? Do we know his name?
Brian Bohannon.
Yeah.
Why? Who screwed up his name?
Well, who wrote the description today?
Oh, here comes.
Carm.
What did I do wrong in the description?
Well, you didn't say Brian Bohannon, that's for sure.
What did I say?
Yeah. Brian Donovan?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Who's friends with my son and plays on it. Yeah.
That didn't.
I coach Brian Donovan.
I definitely didn't say
Shout
that.
out to the Donovan.
That's definitely autocorrected incorrectly.
Well, okay.
Coach Brain.
Coach Brian. I did say that.
Which you spelled Brian wrong 17 times.
These things happen. I got dyslexia or something. I don't know. It's happening.
Not great.
In all seriousness, though, shout out to Carm because he's the one who got
Shout out to Carm.
Coach Bohannon
job,
on
Graham.
the show today. And he was fun to talk to. Plenty more coming this week. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I cannot keep my days straight.
I
had to ask.
I think when you work 13 days in a row, that starts to happen. I have no idea what day it is. Today's Tuesday.
Today's Tuesday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. That means tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Means Braggs is here.
Let's see.
It's so ridiculous.
Can't wait to see you, buddy.
Oh, that's right. Eric at home on the show tomorrow. Our buddy Eric, draft analyst, NFL.com. He's jumping on, so we're going to continue to break this thing down.
Nice.
And
We're getting a Florida coach on here sooner than later. We're going to talk about Dexter in detailed.
Yes.
I mean,
details.
do we want
What's
we
that?
want Billy Napier? Or do we want someone who coached him previous? Because
I'm open to
Florida's had such a
I know I
turnover.
can't keep track.
I'm open to suggestions.
And by the way, real quick, it's Gervon.
What did I say? I just called him Dexter.
You
Gervon.
guys both called him Gur. It's Ger.
Nick was Gur the whole time.
Yeah.
When did
You both Gur.
I wasn't listening.
It's
to
Ger.
Wow.
Gervon.
Sorry, Gervon.
Yes, Gervon Dexter.
I'm gonna watch more
Sr.
tape of you, Gervon Dexter.
It ain't easy out there, buddy.
Think about it, Jerry.
Bye, Jerry. Have a great day. I'll be on the sidewalk talking to myself if anybody wants to hit me up.
See you tomorrow.
Twitter, TikTok, Insta.